This is Dale Matthews. The article appearing on the front page of the Daily Courier, Wednesday, November 13, 2013, is titled, Local Leaders Hear Plan to Sue Federal Government Over Timber, by Jim Moore. It purports to be an accurate version of the previous day's county general discussion with Simon Hare, Cherryl Walker, Keith Heck, and local attorney Jack Swift. The meeting itself was largely a repeat of previous pronouncements by Swift at a televised weekly business session and a verbal version of a written report. The quotes from the meeting are not very accurate, which isn't surprising from the Daily Courier. What is surprising is that the Courier missed the news value of what Jack Swift actually said. Attorney Jack Swift is the vice chairman of the Southern Oregon Resource Alliance, SORA, and has been counted as one of the leaders of the No New Taxes movement. That came to an end at this meeting. Not reported in the Courier was Swift's astonishing offer to repudiate the property tax movement if the Board of Commissioners will simply begin the process to move legally against the Federal Bureau of Land Management, BLM. Here is the amazing quote left out of the Courier article. Jack Swift. I would go along with a 3-year tax increase, campaign for it, do everything possible to make it happen if litigation were underway. After that key omission, are there any quotes that are correct in the Courier? They write, Commission Chairman Simon Hare acknowledged that past efforts by the county to find ways to use federal land haven't worked. Quote, at the very least, I agree we need to try something different, close quote, he said. What he actually said was, Simon Hare, at the very least, I can see that we've got to try something different. That's pretty close, but the Courier has Simon Hare agreeing with Swift. I agree we need to try something different, and what he actually said is, I can see that we've got to try. According to reporter Jim Moore, Jack Swift said, quote, the bulk of the committee would be people who could sell our point of view to the BLM, close quote, he said. There should be timber experts on the body, and it should represent a cross-section of opinions about land use, as well as including people with negotiation skills, he said. But Jack Swift said nothing about a, quote, bulk of the committee. As is often the case in real life, his actual statement was rambling. Jack Swift. We really need people with negotiation skills, because that's what it's all about, and we can never get away from forgetting who's got the hammer. And the law is the hammer to us, but we can't forget that. So, yes, the I would not overlook, we need people, to do that coordination with some skills. Later in the meeting, he continued, not necessarily confrontational, but capable of confrontation, also sales experience. The Courier quote is smoother and rather sanitized. It's just not what he said. The Courier writes, Swift cited a successful relationship between BLM and Modoc County, California. Quote, Modoc has a standing committee plus one person on the payroll, so elections may come and go, but the committee goes on, Swift said. No, that's not what he said. The Courier rewrote his actual words. Jack Swift. To make coordination work, and again, looking at the places where it's been successful, there is has to be in place a standing committee, or perhaps even in Modoc County, they have a person on county payroll whose job it is to coordinate and to manage the coordination. Later in the meeting, Swift discussed a coordination committee. In the legitimate journalism world, it's okay to paraphrase someone's words, but reporter Jim Moore missed the point of Keith Heck's next question. The Courier writes, Heck asked, if the commissioners were to proceed with litigation, is there a willingness on the part of the community to support a 3-year or 5-year tax levy to pay for legal fees? Now, I'll emphasize the point, the subject of what Keith Heck was actually saying. Keith Heck. But if there is the willingness of the community to pull together to say, yeah, okay, we realize that, but you talking the costs gotta come somewhere, and if you, in this leadership role of the folks that are involved or something like this, are supportive of some sort of a 3-year, 5-year, whatever, tax levy to finance this program, okay. Do you see the difference? In the Courier's version, Heck was simply asking if the community is willing to support higher property taxes. In truth, he was addressing Jack Swift himself, asking if you, in the leadership role, are supportive of higher taxes, then okay. Just who is supporting who? What we know now, and what the Courier reporter left out of his article, is the confirmation from Securing Our Safety, SOS, that Jack Swift is one of the authors of their new SOS 5-year levy plan. Pat Fahey says that Swift did the legal research and rewrites for the property tax hike. People need to know that, but they won't find it in the Courier. In the Daily Courier version, Swift, referring to prior failed levies, said, if you show people you are fighting for them, they might support the county government. But what did he say? Jack Swift, no, and you don't even have to win on the litigation. But if you're fighting for what's ours, in the ability that you have, we support you. I think it'll work. In Swift's plan, he will deliver the votes for the higher property taxes today. After that passes easily with his help, he then suggests that the commissioners come back again to voters for yet another property tax hike, this one year after year. In their story, the Courier deletes all references to the SOS 5-year levy. Swift suggested a 1-year levy, written to pay for the litigation costs. It could be voted on and renewed annually. In the non-sanitized version, Swift cautions that we tried 6 times to raise taxes. Commissioner Heck agrees, saying, Keith Heck, my concern is that once we start this fight, so to speak, then what packages do the other boys have that we don't even know about that are now gonna come due? I don't know, but if there is a community support behind paying for some of this stuff, that really is the essence of the problem. From his viewpoint as a former opponent to higher and higher taxes, Swift advises, Jack Swift, I would probably do it on the basis of a 1-year-at-a-time tax levy proposal, the way I look at it. So now perhaps you look at Jack Swift in a different way. And the Daily Courier? Well,